Greetings Jellyspoons and welcome back to the first ever Monday Madness of the year 2022. Before we get started today, let me know, what is your New Year's resolution? Chuck it in the comments down below where I shall judge them all harshly. But I am about to tell you my New Year's resolution, which is very long and complicated, so it can't be any worse than mine. So this week, for the first Monday Madness of 2022, I am going to tell you what is essentially my New Year's resolution. It is my big project for the year 2022. Some of you already know it from my previous video. I'm going to talk more about it today. I'm going to tell you exactly what is going to be going on, what this means in terms of changing the content I'm going to be putting out and what you can expect to see from me over the next 12 months, and very importantly, how you guys can get involved in making this brand new project content. Very exciting stuff. So, let's dive right in. So, starting with the 2022 project itself. Now, as a lot of you may already know from my previous videos and my Instagram and my TikTok and stuff, last year for 2021, I gave myself the challenge of 12 months of cosplay. Every month, I would build and sew a brand new cosplay. At the end of the month, I would upload a vlog of the entire process, so you could see how I made it and how the finished project ended up looking. Insert clips from the year 2021 now. It was very hectic, but it was a very fun year nonetheless. So when it came to the year 2022, I was deciding that I wanted to give myself another challenge. And initially I thought that I was just going to do the same cosplay challenge again. However, then another idea came into my brain and would not leave, and I cannot let go of it. So, I have a new challenge, and it's bigger than my 12 months of cosplay challenge. Good God, is it bigger? Spread the word, Mauku. Bigger. Another thing that you may well already know about me, if you have engaged with any of my content whatsoever over the years, is that my biggest passion in life, my number one favorite thing in the whole world that is, was, and probably always will be my absolute favorite thing that I will love to talk about forever and ever, is the story of Peter Pan. I've made a lot of content about this. I am a self-proclaimed Peter Pan hobbyist. I did my thesis on Peter Pan when I was at university. I've talked about the 1904 play, I've talked about the book, I've talked about different adaptations, I have reviewed various things, some of them halfway decent, and others...
What is this? Oh, read your source material! Alright, so we're just like rewriting Captain Hook's backstory now.
This story and its titular character have molded my life in ways that I have never been able to fully explain. And so while I work on eventually maybe getting a video out that can try and emphasize that point, I decided to use all of this love and knowledge to design my 2022 project. So what am I doing for my 12 months of the year 2022? Well, as some of you wonderful Jellyspoons may already know, I have decided that I am going to make a film, a movie all about the thing that is my biggest passion in the world, Peter Pan. I will be aiming to release the completed movie here on my YouTube channel on Tuesday the 27th of December 2022. This date will mark 118 years since the stage play was first brought into the world on December the 27th, 1904 at the Duke of York Theatre in London. My Peter Pan movie is going to be called Never Never. And now that you know what it is that I am doing, I'm going to tell you what sort of content you can expect from me to do with this and how you can get involved as well. Let's go! So, you know what I'm going to be busying myself doing over the next 12 months, but what can you, my wonderful Jellyspoons, expect to see from me content-wise? Well, the short answer is a lot of stuff. And it's going to be in a lot of different places as well. So if you're not already following me on my various different platforms, I would recommend going to do that because you'll get to see a lot of different things depending on where you are following me. I am ridiculously excited for everything I'm going to be doing and sharing with you guys, and it is only the first week of 2022. It's fine. It's gonna be fine. I can do it. It's gonna be fine. I am, of course, going to be documenting this entire process. So much like last year in 2021 when I was doing my 12 months of cosplay challenge, one big thing you can expect to continue to see from me is my monthly end-of-the-month vlog. In these vlogs, I will be showing you what I have been making and building, behind-the-scenes processes, and what on earth has been going on, and how far the movie is progressing as well. I will be building sets in my house, and I just finished going through my list of all the locations that I need. There are 11. I am going to be building 11 different sets, so stay tuned for that one. I'll also be creating the creatures to inhabit the Neverland, these going from tiny little fairies and gnomes all the way up to the giant creatures like the crocodile and even the Neverbird and other things like that as well. I'll be making props as well, of course, from Captain Hook's claw to bird nests to little mushrooms to cobwebs and the leaves that decorate the forest as well. There's also the story itself, the script and music and many other things that I've probably forgotten right now, and many other things that will pop up no doubt as I am going through this chaotic journey. All of that will be in my monthly vlogs, which you will find at the very end of every month here on YouTube. I will make a special playlist for them as well, so you can watch them all one at a time if you would like to too. And you can expect the first Never Never update vlog on Monday, the 31st of January. But of course, it is not just here on YouTube that I am going to be documenting and sharing this journey. I want to reach as many people as possible and engage you in various different ways. So you can hop over to my Instagram and my TikTok as well. On Instagram, I'll be sharing pictures and short reels and videos and things like that. And of course, I'll be posting clips and videos on my TikTok as well, because that seems to be where I drew most of your attention. So welcome, people who joined me on TikTok-y. Welcome. So that is the Never Never content you can expect to see from me on this channel. I will, of course, be doing my regular Monday Madness videos about anything and everything. If you have suggestions for what you'd like to see in Monday Madness, chuck them down in the comments as well. And I will try to post a story time once every 2 to 3 weeks as well, because I really enjoy doing the story times for you when I've got a sec. But now, onto the super duper extra mega fun bit. At least I think so. Come with me on this super mega extra fun bit. And let's see how you guys can get involved in the Never Never process. One of the biggest and best ways that you can get involved with this is by joining my Patreon page. Now, some of you amazing, wonderful Jellyspoons are already supporting me on Patreon, and I am going to try to encourage more of you to do the same, if you can, of course. Now, my Patreon support starts from $3 a month, I think that's £2.50, then it goes up to $5 and $10 respectively, and there we stop, because 10 is just way too much. Jesus Christ. Now, if you can and would like to support me on Patreon, I am going to make it completely worth your while. I've been working really hard to try and think of some amazing things that I can do to really give stuff back to you guys for supporting me on my Patreon and encourage other people to do the same thing, particularly with such a big project like Never Never, because I am going to need all the help and encouragement I can get. And more importantly, I'm gender fluid, pan and poly. I can't make a decision to save my life. I really need you guys. So, here are the amazing things that you can get involved with and help me with if you want to come and join me over on Patreon. Number 1, I have been working on getting you some stuff. I guess you could call it merch, but technically it would be free as a gift for you supporting me on the Patreon. So your support buys the gift, but it is a gift of me to say thank you to you. Anyway, basically, it could be Jellyspoons merch. I'm still working on exactly what it is. Currently, I am leaning towards magnets and keychains. Number 2, for supporting me on Patreon, you will get to help me decide things. I meant what I said earlier, I am very bad at making decisions. I decided to do this movie, and that was pretty much it. So I will need you guys' help in things like what colour eyes to use on different creatures while I am making them, what colour to paint things, what to do with stuff, whether I should use this clip or this clip, whether this poster looks better or this one. How do you think I should design this? Does this line sound better? Do you like the sound of this? Do you prefer this piece of music or that piece of music? There'll be polls, opinions, that kind of thing. You can suggest stuff, all of that wonderful things. So if you in any way would like to tell me what to do, tiny little simp boy, I guess some people would really enjoy that. If you would like to do any of that, then come and support me over on Patreon, where you can join in with telling me what to do and giving your opinions on things. Number 3, there will be not only pictures and videos of behind the scenes stuff that you'll get to see before everybody else, also pictures of my dog. The dog. Ugh. Boy, COVID sucks. Okay. Number 4, if you support me on Patreon, this was a very recent idea that came to me when I was having the best discussion with my wonderful friend Kat, who I love very much. If you're watching this, I love you so much. So, as I said earlier, I'm going to be making creatures to inhabit my Neverland. And some of these creatures are going to be fairies and gnomes and things like that. So because of talking to Kat, I had an interesting idea, and I thought that while I'm making these creatures, if anyone supports me via my Patreon or my Ko-fi, I'm probably going to open this bit up to Ko-fi as well. If you throw me support on either of those, then you can have a creature designed based on you. Or you. It doesn't have to look like you, it can be whatever creature you would like. If you have blue hair but you want the creature to have pink hair, etc., that kind of thing. Basically, you can give me a little list and I will make sure that there is a fairy or a gnome or another little creature that is based entirely on what you would like it to be. So that's a fun little bit of incentive for you if you want to chuck me support just one time on my Ko-fi, or if you want to join us monthly on my Patreon. You will be immortalized in the form of a gnome or a fairy or some other little creature in the Neverland that you will get to help design. And finally, number 5. This is just Patreon specific once again. Once the entire movie is over, I am going to have a lot of props and creatures and stuff. I thought it might be a really sweet way to say thank you and keep the magic of this movie alive if I sent some of the props and the creatures out to my Patreon. So hey, come and support me on my Patreon. You can get all 4 of the other things, plus number 5, at the very end of filming, you could be the proud owner of Captain Hook's claw, a little fairy, a gnome, or even one of the puppets that I create as one of the creatures as well. So that is my enticement to come and join me on my Patreon, but of course I understand that some people just do not want to or cannot commit to me on a monthly basis. I'm a very large commitment, I appreciate that, that is fine. So instead, if you would like to throw me commitment as and when you want to, you can join my Ko-fi and you can do it there. Of course, if you support me on Ko-fi throughout the year, you will still get to design your own little creature. I really want to make sure that happens for Patreon and Ko-fi, but on Ko-fi it's not quite such a big commitment. You are not supporting me every single month if you don't want to. Of course, while we are self-plugging here, completely irrelevant to the movie itself, if you would like to do a commission, my commissions are back open on my Ko-fi page. I closed them for Christmas and then I have been very seriously ill just after Christmas, but I am better now, so the commissions are back open once again, and you can get a commission of a personalised in-character message, either for you or for somebody else. I have done quite a lot of birthdays, it's great fun. These in-character messages currently come from Peter Pan, all the way from the Neverland, Mollymauk Tea Leaf, Lucien the Nonagon, Kingsley Tea Leaf, and of course a Shakespearean soliloquy could be written for you from Puck from A Midsummer Night's Dream. Those are the characters I'm currently offering, but if you have seen me cosplay another character that you would like a personalised message from, just hit me up and we can definitely make that happen as well. Alright, so that's everything that's happening on my Patreon and my Ko-fi. Let's move on to the next bit. The script itself is still a work in progress, but the storyline has been mapped out pretty concretely, so I know where I'm going with it. Alright, let's talk about themes. I've done a couple of deep dive videos on this channel about what Peter Pan is and how he came to be, and that is definitely something I want to explore in my Never Never movie. The question of what is Peter Pan and why is he the way that he is? Whether the answer to that is entirely satisfying may be rather subjective. The other theme that I will be delving into in this movie is one I've talked about quite a lot on my TikTok series of Peter Pan fact videos and here on my Neverland watch series on YouTube as well, and that is the dark side of the Neverland. I want to detail some of the nastier aspects of life on the island and some of the harsher and even sadder truths that the boy who will never grow up faces. So the who am I and the hidden darkness are the main themes I'll be exploring in my film. Which leads us nicely on to the plot. Oh boy! I have gone back and forth on this quite a lot. Now, I first had the idea that I wanted to make my own Peter Pan movie way back at the end of October last year, and I started working on writing what I wanted it to be about fairly early on in November. However, since starting to map out what kind of story I wanted to tell, I have come to 2 very big and important realizations. Number 1, considering the current state of the world and the fact that it doesn't seem to be changing particularly fast or well, I've made the decision that I cannot in good conscience get anyone together to work with me on this project. I don't want to invite people to come and put them in danger, and I especially don't want to get groups of people together because it just wouldn't feel safe. I would never want to risk anyone else's health simply for helping me to make this film. Realization number 2 then was that this movie is going to predominantly have to be a one-man show. My original plan was to take the play and the book and just tell that story like no one else has ever done it before. However, that would involve lots of different people, a gaggle of pirates and a gang of lost boys, and I am just not happy with getting people together to do that. I was potentially toying with also doing my retelling of the Hook story, but once again, I would need gaggles of lost boys and different people. So in the end, a one-man show it is, so the story I am telling is slightly different. So with all that in mind, here is just a sample, a taster idea of the story that I am going to be telling through my Never Never movie. It will be set in the years after Wendy Darling and those lost boys have abandoned the Neverland. It will be after all the spring cleaning times that Wendy went to visit the Neverland. She will now be a grown-up woman with her daughter, Jane. All the pirates on Captain Hook's crew have long since been disposed and left the island. Captain Hook as well, of course, will be long since dead. I may end up doing this last bit with a cough sweet in, and I'm really sorry. But if I don't, like, have a cough sweet at the back of my throat. Breathing. Breathing, you know that thing we all really enjoy doing that needs to be done in order to continue living and being the chaos beings that we are? Yeah. If I don't have a cough sweet in right now, it's very difficult. I enjoy breathing. Breathing is good. Okay. So, sorry about the cough sweet. I really am. I'm sorry. I'm a mess right now. I'm sorry. So, Peter Pan has not seen anybody for a long while. The story is going to follow him on a more solitary adventure in one of the gaps of time where the Neverland Island seems quite quiet. At least for now. Something is stirring though, of course. A strange sound has started to appear all over the place. An echo. And Peter, quite naturally of course, is very curious to track down what this sound is. And why it appears that he is the only person who can hear it. As we follow Peter pursuing this echo sound, we start to see just how much he has forgotten of days gone by, why this happens, and Peter himself begins to wonder what he is. I am roping a few of my friends in here and there. Some of them have already been nudged by me to come and do various things. Some of them are going to be filming characters and some of them are going to be giving me vocals. And that leads me to another question for you guys. If any of you would be interested in lending me your voice, not in an Ursula Ariel where you will get to keep your voice at the end, it's fine, for an eerie wailing mermaid cry, hit me up in the DMs on Instagram or my Patreon or my Ko-fi, or chuck your interest down in the comments below. Start your message with Mauku! Mermaid! Things! And I'll see it. But yeah, let me know if you'd like to do that because I will need lots of echoing cryful mermaids, and no, it does not have to be tuneful. In fact, the flatter you are, the better, to be honest. There will be loads more information about various things that you can get involved in, what I am up to, etc, on all of my different social media platforms as the year continues. But of course, if you would like to be super majorly involved, then my Ko-fi or predominantly my Patreon is the place to be. So if you can and would like to, please come and support me on there. I promise you I am going to work so hard to make it worth it for all of you guys. If of course you don't want to or cannot do any of that, that's completely understandable. Instead, if you could just make sure that you hit subscribe on this channel, hit like on this video because we like this video, and of course if you could chuck a comment down below, it helps boost the algorithm. You can say whatever you like, you can tell me you hate my hair, I really don't care. Ooh, I'm a poet and I didn't know it. And of course, fill the comments up with what suggestions you have for my next Monday Madness video. What is your New Year's resolution if you would like to be involved in this in any way, and your thoughts on this, etc, chuck them all down into the comments below. Alright, my wonderful Jellyspoons, that is the end of the first Monday Madness of the year 2022. I will see you again next week, and I will be recording a story time for you in the next couple of weeks as well. Definitely not in this week though, because my voice is fine for a little bit, but I have to keep taking breaks. So recording a story time is probably not the best idea right now, but I'll be with you very soon with a story time, and in the meantime, next week I'll have a Monday Madness. Anyone who's already on my Patreon will be seeing updates on the thing I am working on that you have seen a little bit of in the next few days. And everyone else, you can catch up on my Instagram and my TikTok. Alright, my wonderful Jellyspoons, I will see you all very soon. Thank you very much. I will talk to you later. Goodbye. I am a walking advert for where being double vaxxed is a great thing.